Hey everybody, this week is kind of a special week, and not just because if you live in the United States, you're maybe going to be blowing things up, but in Destiny 2, we are potentially going to have our first exotic quest for the Wicked Implement exotic scout rifle. There's been a ton of data mining on it, and I don't want to cover that. I basically just want to save you all some time. You see, there are multiple factors that are telling us that this is going to be the week that this exotic quest launches. However, before you can do any of that, you have to do some time-gated requirements, and this is what this video is about. To get this whole thing started, you need to go fishing. The reason I'm making this video is so that you actually go out and do some fishing so that you get the 3 fish that you need to actually start this quest, as far as we can tell. You see, in the past 2 weeks, we have gotten 2 of the 3 that you need to get. And coming up this week, you'll have the opportunity to get the 3rd. It's possible that you may want to get this quest started, but you haven't done any fishing whatsoever. And if you haven't, you're going to miss out on this. However, if you want to check your stats, you can go to Guardian Report and check out your fishing report. There are 4 exotic fish. The Caperian Axehead is the general exotic fish that you can get, but each one of the other fish are tied to one of the 3 locations where you can go fishing. How do we know that they're part of the exotic quest? Well, once you pick up one of the 3 exotic fish that are not the Caperian Axeheads, when you go to deposit them, not only do you get an exotic, but you get a special consumable, one of the 3 broken blades. Now, there are 3 broken blades. There's the broken blade of ambition and of strife. Once you have one of those broken blades, you can activate one of the 3 hive statues in the deep dive activity. I'm going to show you where the first statue is here. We're going to speed up through this first part because the underwater section is pretty slow. If you want to find these statues or see how you activate them, I recommend that you do the private deep dives so that you don't screw up anyone else's runs. Let's show you where the statues are. The first statue is going to be over here. You're going to see a taken booping mechanic. Don't go down there, but instead follow the light over here, and there will be a path and a hole that will bring you down to the first statue, and then you can go ahead and activate it and listen to Xivu Arath scream at the top of her lungs. At that point, continue on until you get done with the first portion, which is going to be the 1,000 meters in the methane scene. And instead of heading over to the right-hand side, which is where you would actually continue the rest of the activity, head to the left. There will be a statue here in this little cubby hole where you can offer another broken blade. And again, listen to Xivu Arath scream at the top of her lungs. At the making of this video, the 3rd statue cannot be activated, and this is the reason why I want you to go fishing and getting all this exotic fish first, because if you don't have all 3 of these exotic fish, you can't activate all 3 of these statues and potentially start the quest in the first place. When you're going down here to find the 3rd statue, you're going to see a giant fan. You're going to have to deactivate it and follow the path that you see on screen. Now, again, all of these things have been data mined, so we can't confirm if this is exactly how you'd start the exotic quest or potentially how to get the exotic catalyst, but we know that they're going to be somehow used in this quest line. Now, I'll be covering this live tomorrow when the exotic mission potentially goes live, but I'll also be doing a solo guide in case if there's an exotic mission that goes along with it. All right, here's the 3rd statue. You're going to get to this area here where there's 2 paths, one down over there and one to the left. Follow the path to the left. It will take you onto a ledge where you can find the 3rd statue. Now, at this point, I can't activate it because I have not caught the 3rd fish, but there are more hive statues. In the wizard boss fight in the final part of the deep dive, there are 4 statues in the corner of the room, one in the back. Here's a good view of it here, and then one immediately as you jump down from the platform, you can see here on the left-hand side, and then on the left side of the room and the right side of the room. I've got a view of each of them here, but we don't know how to progress the rest of the exotic quest, but when we do, we will let you know. And that Wicked Implement is going to be a Viced Scout Rifle, which will be very similar to the one that you see here on screen, and it's going to have some cool abilities as well. It's going to have a thing called Creeping Attrition, where you rapidly land precision hits. It will cause a target to become slowed. In addition, the Tithing Harvest precision final blows while Creeping Attrition is active create a stasis shard that returns to you. Collecting stasis shards refill the magazine, which is actually pretty darn cool, especially if you are leaning into stasis. But the main portion of this video is just to not wait, because instead of having to wait to get one exotic fish, if you haven't even started or tried to fish, you're going to have to look for 3 different fish on 3 different planets and be interrupted by public events. So if you want to get your hand on the exotic stasis rifle, then make sure that you go get some fishing done here today before the exotic quest goes live, especially if you want to be hanging out with your family or blow up stuff to celebrate your nation's independence. Good hunting, Guardians. I'll see you next time on stream.